Attention shoppers. Tonight on The Checkout. Boosting baby smartness and mummy guilt. Home insurance policies that aren't watertight. And the bald facts about hair loss treatments.
Yeah.
But first, Kirsten Drysdale to the Genius Bar.
In Australia, we're so isolated from the rest of the world, we've always had to pay a little more for our entertainment. And given the high calibre of TV, film and music we import, Australians have always been happy to put up with slightly higher prices. But distribution methods have changed. Music is now purchased online. Even film and TV can be streamed over the internet. So if everything is now distributed electronically, why are we still paying so much more? Let's say you want to buy the new Bruno Mars album, because you don't know any better. In Australia, that'll set you back $14.99. But if you live in America, that same album will cost you $10.99. Americans pay significantly less, and that's hardly fair given they're the ones who inflicted Bruno Mars upon us in the first place. While the new Pink album costs us $17 and them $8. When it comes to movies, the disparity is even worse. If you want to buy, say, The Life of Pi from iTunes, that'll set you back $29.99. But if you're in America and you want to buy the exact same movie from iTunes, it'll only set you back $14.99, which is about half of what it costs in Australia. Is this the queue for iTunes? I have no idea how computers work. So why does it cost us more? Well, last year, a parliamentary inquiry tried to find out. They called in representatives from AMCOS, that's these guys, and APRA, these guys, and they were asked to ETFS, that's this. And their answer, boiled down to one unfairly simplified gesture, was, Oh, and something about how...
The difference is caused by exchange rates.
So let's look at that. In 2008, when the Australian dollar was much weaker than the greenback, we paid about 70% more for our music. But since then, the Aussie dollar's got a lot stronger, which is why we're still paying 70% more for our music. Wait, what? Then you had ARIA, that's these guys, who said that it's because the cost of doing business in Australia is still higher, even for digital goods.
These businesses are running with local costs, be that wages, be that property, and importantly marketing and what we in the music industry call A&R, which is the R&D of the music industry. Which is a fair point, but it's hard to justify a 70 to 100% markup when most of the research and development in Australian music these days seems to be done like this. So we asked Apple for answers the old-fashioned way, by paying a professional musician to record a question and uploading it directly to iTunes.
In the land of guns and apple pie, the song costs $1.29, but when iTunes hears an Aussie accent, the price goes up 70%. What? We come from the land down under, where prices grow and Apple plunder.
But iTunes only responded with a download chart that showed our song getting smashed by a Bruno Mars track, which is iTunes' way of saying F you. The Senate inquiry tried to get to the bottom of this in a different but equally ineffective way, by asking Apple Australia's MD for a straight answer. Sadly, Apple didn't answer in song, but if they did, it would have sounded like this.
Your question is best directed at the guys who own the content, own the labels, own the music. We do not own the products. Talk to the rights holders, directly to the labels. The rights holders to the labels are a retailer. It's not a matter for us. It's really a question for other folks. We again would suggest that you talk specifically to the labels, the rights holders, or the studios. They will be able to give you an answer to this question, I'm sure.
As you can see, Apple's been a bit of a broken record on this issue.
Talk to the record companies, talk to the record companies, talk to the record companies.
So we did. We asked EMI, Sony and Universal why music downloads in Australia are so much more expensive. And their response in full was nothing. Absolutely nothing. But here's what we do know. Apple dictates the price structure for songs on iTunes. They only allow 3 price points. This is what they are for iTunes America, and this is what they are for iTunes Australia. Almost exactly 70% more. But where does all that money go? Well, no matter what the country, no matter what the price, Apple takes a cut, usually around 30%. So, you're doing pretty well out of this, aren't you?
Talk to the record companies, talk to the record companies, talk to the...
As for the rest, there's a small cut for music industry bodies and taxes, but the lion's share goes to the record companies. So, you do even better out of the higher prices, don't you? Mind you, it's a bit rich for one of the world's most powerful companies to pretend they can't influence iTunes prices in Australia, isn't it?
Talk to the record companies, talk...
Right. So, what can consumers do? Well, you can either wait for these two to work out whose fault it is, or you can just trick iTunes into thinking you're an American anyway, and you don't need an American credit card or to dress up like an American to do it. Aww. All you need to do is click on this button and then this button to change your iTunes interface to American iTunes. Then go to the App Store and download a free app, which will prompt you to open an American iTunes account without a payment method. Then you just use a second email address, preferably not one with a .au at the end, to open your brand new American iTunes account. Of course, we strongly discourage you from doing this because it would be a breach of Apple's terms and conditions.
It's asking me for an American postal address?
US addresses are really easy to find on the net. Any address will do, as long as it exists. We strongly recommend you don't do this. But if you should find yourself with an American iTunes account, it's quite easy to buy American iTunes gift cards online, and then you're all sorted. Hypothetically speaking.
It's working.
Because of course you wouldn't do that. And if you don't want to follow those easy steps to accessing great international content, as you shouldn't, there's always the free option. The ABC.
Coming up on ABC One, the 1964 classic Carry On Up the Life of Pi.
Would you like to feed your family of 4 for under $10?
Hell yeah!
Because all you need is one of these and one of these.
Got 'em!
Excuse me, madam. Do your kids like pasta?
They love it.
Well, they'll love it even more when they eat my fettuccine bolognese. Interested?
Yes.
Come on, let's go shopping.
Can I come shopping too, Curtis?
Let's get started. Fresh Aussie mushroom, onion, carrot. You can't have a bolognese without a carrot.
Ow.
Oh, fresh.
The mint?
With no added hormones.
Cheap and nasty mince? Check.
Balsamic vinegar. Just a little dash makes it sweeter and richer.
Hang on, how come you didn't get both olive oil and extra virgin olive oil? Oh, you presume I have a pantry full of ingredients and don't include them in the cost?
My fettuccine bolognese feeds a family of 4, all for under $10.
But you have to spend $20 first.
Hey, Curtis! Ta-da!
Hey, Curtis! You owe me $20.
As a guilty mum, I want my child to be smart, so I buy everything I can to boost her little brain, even before she had one. Before I was even pregnant, I chose a pre-pregnancy supplement with iodine to assist in the development of baby's brain. Because
by the time they find out they are pregnant, their baby's vital organs are already forming.
And with baby on the way, naturally I added fish oil that's particularly important for the normal function of the brain. Those stupid scientists who think fish oil doesn't help the brain obviously didn't get fish oil in the womb. And apparently classical music helps baby's concentration and propensity for learning. So baby got Beethoven through these belly buds. Take the rubbish out, you lazy bastard. Learning with her embryonic ears. And as a guilty mum, I never shop in toy stores. I like to shop at early learning centres to buy educational toys like this, which will develop her motor skills, imagination and auditory awareness. Or these, which help her interpret stories and use her hands. Almost as well as the box does. And I've enrolled her in Gymbaroo because for just $80 a month, she deserves a baby workout that helps healthy neurological development and school readiness. Are you ready for school, my little genius? Of course course she is. We've done all our smart baby courses, including Baby Sign, to fast-track intellectual development and have her smartness encouraged. And I just had to buy her the Brill Babies maths and reading courses. Because even as a baby, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that would be disastrous. And of course, we just love Baby Einstein.
Even though in America we've had to drop all educational claims and offer refunds after it was proved that DVDs don't make babies smarter.
And of course, the latest studies show that the best learning experiences are interactive and involve me playing with her. So I bought her this. So we can both play on our tablets and get smarter together.
Home and contents insurance usually covers water leakage, but for consumers, the wording's not exactly watertight. NRMA, for example, will cover the cost of locating the damage, but there's a catch. You have to get the insurer to agree to it first before you call the plumber. So if you have a sudden water leak, you know who to call. Quick! Call an insurer!
If you are holding off making arrangements because you need us to agree to pay costs in advance, press 1 now.
Even if you do get their permission first, they only pay for the cost to locate the leak and the damage from the leak, but not the cost of fixing the leak. That's helpful. Most water leakage policies are the same.
Yeah, I see your problem.
You're insured for damage to everything except the thing that's causing the damage.
Your pipe's busted. See ya.
So if you want your water leakage insurance to actually fix your pipes, you're going to have to do this.
If you're losing hair, 100% of independent doctors surveyed would recommend that you visit Ashley and Martin.
There are plenty of companies that try to take advantage of the embarrassment of male pattern baldness.
Spray on hair.
That's for a friend. Mostly they work in the same way, which is not very well.
They know what we can do.
They start off with a combination therapy, low-level lasers, medications and supplements, and special shampoos. For advanced hair, 6 months of this treatment can cost around $4,000, which sounds like a lot, but...
Imagine how good you'd feel if you never had to worry about hair loss again.
So can you trust the king of spin?
Laser therapy sounds impressive.
Advanced laser therapy.
Proven laser therapy.
Sophisticated heat beam, which we called a laser.
But that guy loves lasers, and he's completely bald. So does laser therapy really work? Well, it has been shown in some peer-reviewed trials to promote some growth, but it's debatable if you can even see the difference. And even
Our team of medical and pharmaceutical specialists
don't seem particularly confident about it.
Low-level laser therapy has now reached a level of satisfaction for our medical team to feel confidence in the benefits that our patients may obtain.
So I wouldn't be rushing out and buying your $2,600 laser hat quite yet. The medication these clinics give you is called minoxidil, and on the Advanced Hair website, it's credited for Warnie regrowing his own hair, although they take no responsibility for what happened to his face. Minoxidil may work in some cases, but you can buy stuff with the same active ingredient from any chemist.
So call today. Don't wait until it's too late and enjoy the confidence tomorrow.
The other is called finasteride, which you can get from your doctor. It has the most significant effects, but also the most significant side effects. It can quite literally be a pain in the balls. You can get finasteride through your doctor for anything from $15 to $50 a month. In other words, you can get 6 months of Ashley and Martin treatment for $4,000, or you could get it yourself for about $650. Of course, then you won't have a salesperson pretending to be a doctor.
That's our job.
But the dirty little secret of the hair regrowth industry is what Advanced Hair calls
strand-by-strand procedure.
The ads never actually make this clear, but that advanced, patented strand-by-strand technology is actually just a wig. Or as Advanced Hair's lawyers call it, an individually created system using human hair which is injected strand by strand into a second skin or membrane. The membrane's then integrated to the scalp where required using a non-carcinogenic and non-allergenic silicon-based adherent, which creates a microscopic cushion between the membrane or second skin and the scalp. Or to put it another way, it's a wig. Which is probably why Advanced Hair registered the strand-by-strand trademark in Class 26, which is the Class 4 hair pieces and wigs, false hair and hair fasteners, and hair nets. To repeat, This is not a hair transplant. No hair's being implanted or grown on your scalp. It's just a stick-on wig. And that's it. Now all that's left to do
is go water skiing. That and have it cleaned and re-glued once a month and replaced annually for the rest of your life. Woohoo! Yeah!
Fortunately, Julian saw Advanced Hair Studio just in time.
The trick is how the ads cleverly mix together the laser and wig therapies. Advanced Hair is bowling you a wrong'un.
This can be a very deceiving delivery.
You think you're getting one thing, but it's actually something else.
If the batsman's not reading and watching...
Too true, Warnie. So let's read and watch carefully. Here's Warnie receiving the laser therapy, and here's someone else wearing a wig.
I think the results speak for themselves.
This big machine that says laser is probably some sort of laser, but this wig is not as clearly labelled.
Anyone can have a full head of hair again, guaranteed.
One last time, here's the amazing results of a wig, followed by Warnie happily receiving a completely different, non-wig-based procedure. And as for that 100% guarantee on their website, it only applies to the wig.
Advanced Hair Studio now guarantees a result for hair loss.
To try something like that, you certainly have to have a lot of balls. For many men, a wig, toupee, or as Advanced Hair calls it, a hair system, is a perfectly acceptable option. But they really should know what they're getting into. And the other treatments you see in the ads are available outside these specialty clinics for far less. Awkward. So next time you see a washed-up sportsman flogging, washed-up legend flogging baldness cures on TV, make sure their story checks out.
Advanced Hair. Yeah, it's mainly a wig.
Yeah.
Call now.
I'm heading into Maya, retailer of Freeze Frame, the cosmetics company where health meets science and offers instant results. Instant results? All right, Freeze Frame, you're on. This is the instant road test. Freeze Frame claims that with only rub-in creams, it can make your boobs bigger, make your bum rounder, firmer and lifted, plus smooth the appearance of dimpled skin and tighten up flabby areas in just 10 minutes. Well, I got 10 minutes. They also say LipoSlim's clinically proven to reduce fat pockets, whatever the hell they are.
Absorbs it straight away.
All right.
And it sort of breaks down.
Oh, that sounds great. I'll get that. Thanks so much, I will. If I put it there, would it help there? Sure. Okay. This is the control arm, and this is the... Just gonna rub it in a firm circular motion as it's asking me to do. Now I guess we just have to wait 10 minutes. So LipoSlim is a breakthrough topical treatment which is clinically proven to reduce cellulite appearance within minutes of application, whilst performing a deeper progressive smoothing action which reduces cellulite in the long term and visibly slims body contours. So, how does this pleasant smelling cream that looks an awful lot like Sorboline overcome basic nutrition and genetics to tighten flab in 10 minutes? Maybe it's LipoSlim's unique on-off system. Off. So I've got to turn it on. Or maybe it's the dual-action unique tri-ball massage roller. So this flabby area to be tightened. Dunno, I can't really see any difference. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest. The control arm kind of looks like the other arm. Sorry, I don't think it works. Well, it says it works instantly, and it didn't work. They're the same, so it says it is. It says, look, do you want to see what it says? Smooth cellulite instantly. And it says it just works in just 10 minutes to smooth the appearance of dimpled skin and tighten flabby areas. So I'm just saying it doesn't work. It was $80. But it says straight away. It says straight away, so it lies.
It does reduce it, and it...
Do you think that's reduced?
More, not to that extent.
Like the product shouldn't lie. Yeah.
No, it doesn't really work.
So you won't give me a refund?
I can.
Thank you. Do you know if there's a Donut King around here?
No idea. You have to go to Westfield and ask.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, at $79 a bottle, the only instant result I got from LipoSlim is disappointment. But at least I got an instant result from the My Returns policy. Thanks, Australian consumer law. And nice lady.
I'm Ian Jarrett from the Queensland Consumers Association. If I could say one thing to help yourself save money at the supermarket, look at the unit pricing. A unit price makes it easier to compare the value of products that come in different shapes and sizes. It gives you a common reference point, like the price per 100 grams. Unit prices vary greatly, so the savings can be big. Since 2009, displaying unit prices is compulsory at larger supermarkets, and the law says the unit prices must be prominent and legible. And if you're shopping online, you can sort products by unit price. Searching online is also a good way to see how what you buy ranks in unit price. But watch out for the little problems when you're using unit pricing, like different units of measure for the same product. And it's also worth checking if something listed as a special really is a better buy. Working out what's the best value for you may also include factors like ingredients, nutrition, country of origin, and other things. But knowing the unit price will help you weigh all that up. If the unit price isn't shown or shown clearly where you shop at your big supermarket, you can complain to the retailer and let the ACCC know.
Welcome to FUTube. One of the big questions for all consumers is how long companies are responsible for the products they sell us.
There are lots of products, fridges, freezers, washing machines, that we keep for a long time. And for them, reasonable durability should be measured in years, even decades, not weeks or months.
The good news is that some companies have been quite reasonable about it.
My washing machine broke down after only 3 years and couldn't be fixed. I argued that a product like that should last for longer. Electrolux agreed and gave me a $600 discount on a new machine to make up for that.
Well done for asserting your consumer rights, and well done to Electrolux for respecting them. That doesn't always happen. Apple, for example, still seem to be breaching Australian consumer law.
Please note that according to the iTunes Terms of Sale, which you had agreed to upon creation of your account and at various times during its use, all sales are final.
Apple just don't seem to get the message, so we've put it in a handy video form that they should finally understand. And saying you agreed to it isn't the only excuse that companies use to dud you out of your consumer rights. As Paul tells us,
I was in Aldi recently and watched a lady try to return a faulty kettle. She was told by the guy that she couldn't return it to the store. She had to send it back to the manufacturer as per their warranty. When I spoke to the guy and said I understood that you could return items to the place of purchase, he told me that it was against Aldi policy to have returns to the store.
I think Aldi might find store policy doesn't trump the law. Not even Craig Thompson would run that excuse.
As I told the court, it was the store policy.
So well done, Paul, for speaking up, and speaking up politely too. Remember that with all these consumer rights you have, you don't have to be rude about it. And while we're on the topic of dodgy kettles, it seems there may be a spate of them. Here's Matt from Brisbane, and I know what you're thinking. He looks like a big drinker.
No, I'm a big tea and coffee drinker. I go through 5 or 6 of these a day.
Matt's second-hand kettle stopped working after 7 years, which is pretty good durability. But since then, Matt bought 3 kettles from Kmart in less than a year, and a couple have only worked for a few weeks. Not that he's been ripped off by anyone. I mean, Cambrook even sent him
a handwritten, sincere letter of apology.
And Kmart, to their credit, have refunded him every time. But as Matt says,
I do think it's interesting that 17 years ago, they worked out how to make a cheap, durable electric kettle. But now they're nowhere to be found.
It's not quite a scam, but you have to wonder if the race to make the cheapest products,
the Homemaker brand kettle for $8,
is actually good for consumers. When it only costs $8, how many people are as diligent as Matt and return the products to get a refund? Or do they just end up as more landfill? Here's a challenge. Let's see if any $8 kettles that have been purchased now can last till the checkout returns to TV next year. In the meantime, keep sending us your FUTubes and your tip-off emails. We thank you for the literally thousands we've received already. And next year, we will cover every single one of those consumer gripes you've brought to our attention. Promise.
In the land of guns and apple pie, the song costs $1.29. iTunes. Here's an Aussie accent, the price goes up 70%. What is it that we've done wrong? That we charge more for these crappy songs when you're on Australian ground? It don't change the price of sound. All I wanna do is make an Aussie rap tune, but the price is obscene thanks to Aussie iTunes. My fans say you got $2.19, but for $1.29 Yanks can own Jay-Z. Yo, I've had to strip back my musical collection, cause I can only afford 3/5 of One Direction. Yo, don't wanna whinge, but it's hard to defend you when you charge more than $2 for a song by Larry Emder.
Now, I'm a bit of a gangster.
Auto-tune that shit, Larry! All I wanna do is make an Aussie rap tune, but the price is obscene thanks to Aussie iTunes. My fans say you got $2.19, but for $1.29 Yanks can own Jay-Z. American songs are so cheap to buy. Missy Elliott is cheaper than a cold meat pie. I just buy this song for $2.19, but for $1.29 Yanks can own Chuck D. Australia gave the world AC/DC, another stadium acts like AC/DC. So why do Yanks get them cheaper than me? They don't even have to pay GST, see? We come from the land down under, where prices grow and Apple plunders. All I wanna do is make an Aussie rap tune, but the price is obscene thanks to Aussie iTunes. My fans spend $2.19 on this track for $1.29 Yanks can own 2-pack. In the USA, a dollar bill will get you Little Kim or Lauderhill. Why are we paying $2.19? I can't even afford to be motherfucking MC.
That was the season final of The Checkout. Next week, Catalyst returns. Next, Kirsty Allsop transforms a home full of clutter into a 1950s-inspired masterpiece. She's turning unloved items into homemade treasures. Check out Kirsty's Vintage Home.